DC here. Hi guys. Well, it's Thursday, end of the day, and it's been a pretty big week. Let me see, Mr. Dago over there. Yeah, it's been a pretty big week, but things are moving along slowly, but they're moving along. You know, I'm working at home these days, which doesn't mean actually I have nothing to do. I'm actually off quite a bit, different workshops, and go to my workplace every now and then. But I've been allowed actually to work at home, which is kind of nice, especially in the situation right now. Now, going on actually with what I wanted to talk about today, which has nothing to do with that, is the fact that I want to talk a little bit about stereotypes. Now, in the last I would say weeks or so on, there's a lot of things have been happening in the world, and how do we react to that? I mean, like the oil spills, for example, or all the storms. And what does this have to do with stereotypes? Well, at first, actually, maybe nothing. And then thinking about it, maybe actually quite a bit. Now, one of the reasons is, well, I say quite a bit, is that we do have this tendency to believe that big business will be a lot less moral than small companies. And very often that could be true, but since very often big business is looked at so much, they are under all type of commissions and, you know, watchdog committees and so on. Well, actually, very often, big business has a more stringent codex, how to treat employees, how to treat women and so on, than smaller companies, which actually just go along by the way that one person thinks and feels. You know, it's partially true. Of course, in big business, very often, profit will be the main motivator. But it's the same in every business. I guess the only thing is that the old-fashioned, you know, daddy-owned businesses will probably, you know, maybe a little bit more friendly. But belly up is belly up. Doesn't matter who's taking care of it. So, I was thinking, you know, that has something to do with stereotypes within our way of seeing, actually, the worldview. Actually, sometimes we think of things as they have to be that way, and they aren't. Other type of stereotypes. Well, I was thinking not too long ago about how many religious stereotypes that we have. You know, since I've been on YouTube, I've met quite a few people that are Wiccans. And, you know, if you'd have asked me probably 2 years ago, when I just started doing YouTube vids, I would have been very wary of associating with anybody who was called Wiccan. Not that I knew anything about I mean, I had studied a bit on this group, on this religion. I had studied a bit about it, but I didn't know anybody. I don't even know if there is a Wiccan movement here in Switzerland. But since I've met people on the internet, very caring people, and I'm thinking of one person in particular, I am She-Bear 777. I don't know if she would call herself a Wiccan or a neo-pagan. I guess it's probably similar, but, you know, you'd probably have to correct me there, Mary Angel, to be certain if I get my terminology right. But, you see, stereotypes. And we've become good friends. And the lovely thing about this is that we are ready to accept that there are certain points in our life which we do not and probably will not never agree. They might actually even be diametrically opposed at one point or another, but that doesn't matter. We like each other as people, and I think that is one thing that's fundamental. Liking a person for being who he or she is, for being a person. You know, in the way, as a Christian, I would say loving a person for being created in the image of God. You can look at it otherwise if you're from other religious persuasions, but the main thing here is respect, love that person. Do not treat a person basically like subhuman. I'm being a bit harsh here, but very often that's the case. You know, keep on going there is that also thinking about class struggles, for example. You know, I'm saying a lot of you know today. Well, I guess that's different than saying actually all the time. I was just going to say actually again. The fact is that, like, I come from middle class, working class family. Studied, went to university, and actually got a PhD. Now, does that mean that I should look down upon people that have not gone to college, university, and so on? Well, I have a lot of people that I know that are like that. I just can't do that. Actually, I might even get flack the other way around, because I've had actually coming the other way. People who've realized that I don't come from a silver spoon family have it sometimes shun me a little bit. But you see, in this YouTube community that most of us are around in, I don't think actually that we're looking into that. It's like, who cares if somebody has a PhD? Who cares if somebody has gone to university? That's not the fact. The fact is, are we respecting each other? Are we having fun with each other? Are we doing intelligent things with each other? You know, it's the whole thing. We're creating this virtual community, I think, that kind of replaces probably what puts us off so much very often with the real world. And I hate using that term more and more, the real world, because it is also a stereotype. I'll check the minutes here. It's also a stereotype. The real world. In today's age, the virtual world is also part of our real world. Meaning that the community that we are creating here, and I know that for some of you, you've extended it onto Facebook. I've not actually managed to get through that extension yet. But it is part of our world. It is part of our community. And I'm going to have the chance this summer actually to go even one step further and meet somebody from that virtual world. So you see, the virtuality will become real. I'm not saying who it is. Some of you know, and some of you are guessing, but all of you will know in a few, about a month, I guess. Yeah, so I see the minutes are really going on. So that was DC, just kind of, thinking. I guess it's part of the whole thing. It's so hot, I'm walking around with a cold beer. It's part of the whole thing. Thinking about you, thinking about me, thinking about us. Time's up. DC signing off. Take care.